Şunu dinlememiz lazım.
There is a twist here as well. It's not like other standard controller agents. You can also use ruse while you've died. So can you walk me through that?
We kind of wanted CLOVE to be a more aggressive agent who would be more comfortable taking risks, being proactive and not,
Abicim bu yeni çar ne
just
iş?
trying to figure out what to do with their team.
Kaçırdın
So
tanıtımı.
we kind of
Kaçırmadım
ended
ya.
up just saying, hey, you can still do this after you die. So that's kind of the design inspiration behind Ruse.
I'm not going to get
Katakulli.
flamed for going down first in my ranked games.
I mean, you might still.
It depends how I die, really.
Depends if you get kills, yeah. But that's like an intentional decision by you guys in terms of trying to fulfill a niche that you thought was missing from the game.
Yeah, we kind of felt like there wasn't that much competition within the controller role for really
Smoke
aggressive
çok iyi.
agents who wanted to make plays individually. We
Temiz
felt like there was
smoke
kind of a
yani
lot of role competition for really cerebral characters who really rewarded you for staying alive and playing in the back and making sure you got a lot of value for your team. But there wasn't much for the more impulsive, aggressive type of Valorant player.
So you mentioned that the ultimate ability required a damaging assist. So that's where the Q medal seems really interesting because that is a damaging ability but using a decay mechanic. So can you walk us through how players might use this?
Yeah, so to combo kind of the ultimate not dead yet with the Q,
Q ulti
you
kombosu
really want to make
yapılıyormuş.
sure that you debuff someone with the Q, and then if you kill them or assist them, then you'll manage to stay alive in the ultimate. So that's kind of intended by design that you can use this Q when you're back alive to try to get a last minute save or stay within the round.
Yeah, and it's not something you can use for lineups. It debts on a timer when you throw it, right? So yeah, it's very like intentional. Do you think people are going to be like cooking up like specific spots for it where you throw it out?
Yeah, I think there will be specific spots where it's like quite powerful. I think a lot of the staging space fights on a lot of our maps are really good for it. Like Lotus A, where you're running out and it's kind of the war zone of utility. Yeah, rubble.
Evet, doğru.
It's really good in spots like that, especially combining with other agents' utility. So just kind of trying to play around those staging spaces are where I expect it to shine most because it can kind of just explode on your head really quickly.
So let's move on to the first ability that we're covering last here, which is
Dinçleştirici özüt.
So this one again
Yok kaçırmadınız. Şimdi bir de show maçı yapacaklar. Orada daha net izleriz.
For as long as possible. It gives you something, a reward for going out there and getting kills.
Yeah, we really wanted to make sure that there were really clear signals
Yani,
for players that you want to play.
Bu öyle bir controller çar ki chat. Aynı zamanda bir entry gibi de oynayabilirsiniz yani.
Really afraid to take risks and it was like, oh, we needed to give them clear incentives. And the easiest way to do that from a design perspective is to say, hey, you can actually only press this button if you've killed someone or if you've damaged someone. So that was kind of like the leading design inspiration there.
And what is CLOVE getting from Pick Me Up?
CLOVE gets a speed boost and a temporary overheal that is kind of similar to Reyna's overheal. A little bit different on the texture side of things in that all of the healing you get is temporary. So
Oğlum
if
bu
you
çar
don't
çok
use
OP
the speed
kanka.
boost to go get more kills
Çok
with
OP.
your overheal, then it'll all go away. So you kind of have to assess if it's worth pushing the limits, and I kind of hope people decide it's worth it most of the time.
I'm a smokes main because I tend to just pick what my team needs. I don't think my team's going to let me pick smokes anymore. This is going to be insta-locked immediately.
Your role is going to be stolen.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited to see how it actually plays out. And I believe we've got something cooked up right after this. So thank you very much, John and Dan, for joining us.
Abi sonunda güzel bir çar ya. Sonunda ya.
And we're going to send things off to a taste of how this agent is actually going to function in a real game.
Hadi bakalım. Şimdi show maçı yapacaklar arkadaşlar. Mimi ve Mixwell'in kaptan olduğu, karşı karşıya mücadele edeceği bir show maçı olacak şimdi. Hatta KD de var Mimi'nin takımında.